All right, we live, we live, we live. Want to welcome you to Encounter with Marcus Stewart. That is me. You can find me and follow me on all my social media platforms at underscore Minister Marcus. Before I get into the show today, I want to shout out to the people that sponsored this episode who made me this lovely shirt. Shirts by Stu. Let me say, if you need any kind of shirts like for your church, you need shirts for your small business, this is the place to go. Some people try to encourage against the small shirt printing companies, but I think this particular one is really good. They do small orders. I think the smallest order that we've done is maybe three. We've done small orders. We've done large orders. We're actually working on an order for a company right now. All your custom shirt needs, find and follow me. Find and follow Shirts by Stu on Instagram. So I want to shout out to them. They did make me this shirt. I try to wear all of the custom shirts that they make. So today, as you can see, I got nobody as the co-host. I wanted to start off this new change of format by myself, just to welcome all of you. For those of you who have been following, I want to say thank you. I've been trying to grow my channel. As I said before, like this channel is really just made for those people who not really feeling church. I know church is kind of outdated these days. And so I wanted to create a platform to just help be a guide for people outside of the church realm. So some people come to church, some people do what you're doing, which is watch me on the podcast. So I want to start off today with just first off, man, people call me crazy because I be with this whole health is the new wealth. And I think we don't take enough time, man, to think about like, how we, what we put in our bodies. And I get into these debates because of course I go to the gym. But I always tell people, man, people they go to the gym and they say, man, how are you able to stay so slim? And I don't think I'm just skinny, but my stomach don't like, it's not crazy. And I tell people all the time, they don't be believing me, but the truth is, it is diet. It is the things that I put and the things I don't put in my body. And you'll be surprised at how much your body will respond if you stop putting certain things in it. So one of the things is processed sugars. Um, I stopped eating sugar, the processed sugar. And I realized that that was one of the things that was making my stomach bloated. It would like give me this air bubble in the front. And, I just decided one day, man, let me see what a week off processed sugar would be like. So call me crazy. I would go whenever I'm buying my snacks and stuff, and I would look at how many grams of added sugars are in the things that I was buying. And if it had any added sugars, I wouldn't buy it. That includes juice, that includes anything that I bought. If it had any included or if it had any added sugars, I wouldn't buy it. And then I did that for a week, and then I realized, man, a lot of the bloat in my stomach wasn't there, and it didn't make because at that time I had a kind of a big stomach, but I didn't have the bloat in my stomach. And so man, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then that sent me down this whole path of um, you know, losing my stomach. I wanted to get a six pack. So I don't have a six pack now. I got like a four pack or a two pack sometime. But I went on this spiral of how to like make my stomach get flat. And so there are a lot of things out there. Drink black coffee. Everything that I did was without sugar. And so I did that, and I noticed that my stomach just it got flatter. And combine that with the exercise, it sent me down this path of diet. Like the things that you eat, you don't realize the kind of effects that they have on your body. And then, so I started looking at things that were good to eat, and I found out that a lot of sicknesses come from the stuff that we put in our bodies. And some people they call me crazy, but I started to learn a lot about diet and how the things that you eat have an effect on you. And so I stopped eating after a certain time. I stopped eating certain foods, and I recognized that a lot of my energy levels was linked to my foods. My even waking up in the morning was linked to the things that I was eating, and it just sent me down this path. And then, of course, I read the Bible. Of course, I study the Bible. And one of the scriptures that's in the Bible, it talks about like how the body is the temple. And so most of the time people use that when they talking about drugs or alcohol, but not recognizing that it's also talking about the things that you put in your body. And so I stopped eating a lot of stuff, and I realized my energy levels would boost it. Even the smells when I sweat, I didn't have the odors that I had when I stopped eating certain foods. Um, Man, it was just crazy how my mind would be so focused, how my mind would be so much more alert when I stopped putting certain things in my body. I started noticing my taste was different. And so I'm just saying this to get you to consider that maybe there are some things that you can change by just changing your diet. And so I wanted to start this episode off with one thing that you could incorporate into your diet. That's a very healthy thing, very easy, and there are bananas. So I have this book, and I'm not going to tell you the name of the book, but what it does is it gives you different things to incorporate into your diet. And so when I was eating processed sugars, I would eat a banana and it wouldn't taste sweet. But after a week of no processed sugar, I tasted a banana and it was like, man, it was like I was tasting it for the first time. I ate watermelon and it was like it was actually sweet to me. Before it wasn't sweet because I was so used to eating Snickers and cookies and all this other stuff with so much added sugars that I was missing the natural sugars. And so one of the things I did do, I found out about these bananas. This book kind of put me onto bananas, and I went down this the path of seeing what bananas were actually good for in the body, and I found out that bananas, they have natural sugar. So it's better than processed sugar. Most people, well, not most people, but I've heard the argument that bananas are full of sugar, but and they do have sugar in them. But the thing about it is, it's natural sugars, and the distinction is you want to get away from the processed sugar and you want to incorporate the natural sugars. And the bananas have the natural sugar, and like the watermelon is sweet, but it's naturally sweet. I also found out that they have large amounts of minerals. They have potassium in them. They high in amino acids. So I'm not the health junkie, right? I don't know the the ins and outs of all of these different things, but I'm just telling you so to give you some kind of picture. And you do your own study, but they are said to be high in amino acids. And so what amino acids are that I've understood is molecules that combine to form proteins in your body. So bananas are a natural way to give your body amino acids, the natural way. So for those of you that take these supplements, maybe you didn't know that bananas have a natural supply of amino acids in them. And so they are not all sugar. They also have fiber in them. Fiber helps you with your digestive tract. Maybe you didn't know that when you eat fiber, like I eat sunflower kernels because they are high in fiber. Red beans are ridiculous with the amount of fiber that they have in them. I don't eat rice. I eat quinoa, also good amount of fiber. But what the fiber does is it helps your digestive tract break down that food, and so you can do your number twos clean. I never force them out. I never have to push them out. Combined with the meats that I eat and the fiber that I put in my body naturally just it flows. So bananas have fiber in them, they have pulp in them, and they have water. Water also helps you with your digestive tract. They also contain antioxidants and vitamins. And so I just did a research on them and I'm just relaying information. Go do your own study. I encourage you to do your own study. But my thing is, I want you to be conscious and deliberate about the things that you put in your body. Bananas are also said to have antiviral and fungus destroyers. So they remove unproductive bacteria and also aid your digestive system. And look, this is what I found out. For blood sugar levels, bananas help to stabilize your blood sugar levels. I didn't know that, right? And you probably didn't know that, but go look it up. They are so good for you. And so I've had people to ask me, um, when is the best time to eat a banana? Like I say before and after my workout. So in the mornings before I go or whenever I go to the gym, if I realize I haven't really had nothing to eat, I eat one or two bananas. Or if I don't eat before I go to the gym, and then when I get done and I'm hungry, I grab me one or two bananas. And what it does is it helps to replenish your body before and after the workout. And so the best time to eat a banana is not when it's green. If you got a green banana, let that thing sit on your counter until it turns like really yellow and have like the brown spots, not completely black, with like brown spots, brown speckles, and they are really good like as a travel snack. And so I'm just trying to put some on your mind and say, man, be conscious, be aware of the things that you are putting in your body. You only got one body. Look, I'll say it like this. I always ask the question. I want you to think of it this way. If you had one car, and you say, if I told you I would buy you a car, one car, whatever kind of car that you wanted, and you can get whatever kind of car, the brand new car, whatever car you want, I buy it for you. And then the catch to that is you only get this one car for the rest of your life. What you would do, knowing that you're only going to get that one car, you would do your best to take care of it. You'll get the oil changed on time. You'll try to make sure you keep the tires changed. You'll make sure you keep your motor good. And so most of the time we take care of our cars more better than we take care of our bodies, not realizing you only get one. And so I want to start every episode with putting that in your mind. You got to be conscious and aware of the things that you put in your body. I want you to look. Here's something else that I found out. As much as you go to the gym, you can go to the gym every single day. But if you drink bleach, it don't matter how much you go to the gym, the bleach is going to kill you. And I say that same thing with your diet. You can exercise regularly, but if you put the wrong thing in your body, it is going to hurt you no matter how much you go to the gym. And so you have to do diet and exercise. And I like that diet has DIE in it because with the wrong diet, you can DIE. All right. So look, that's my health rant. Take it or leave it. I always say this: if it don't apply, let it fly. And so the topic of today's episode is got to be reflection. So I don't know exactly when I'm gonna post this episode, but I do want you to consider this as a man, as a woman. Give serious thought or consideration over the last 12 months of your life. One of the things I always do is I set aside time to reflect. Maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's once a week, maybe it's twice a week, but I always set aside time to reflect. And I reflect on whatever time. So if I have it once a week, I reflect on that last week. And I do it every year. At the beginning, at the end of the year, I take time to set aside just to reflect on the last 12 months or reflect on the last month. And what I do is I always set these goals. This is what I intend to accomplish. And then at the end of the month, what have I actually accomplished after that? But the only way you can do that is you set aside time to reflect. And my question for you is, what have you accomplished in the last 12 months? What could you have done better in the last 12 months? What could you have done different? If it's a week, what have you done? What have you accomplished in the last 7 days? What could you have done better in the last 7 days? What could you have done different in the last 7 days? Think about whether or not you got closer or farther away from the kind of life you wanted to live. I didn't realize this when I was young, that my life was a product of my own choices, but I made those choices because I had no direction. I had no direction because I didn't set a direction for my own life. So like I had to learn it. I had to learn to be deliberate about about my actions and my activities. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Lord, teach us to number our days." In other words, it's saying I only have a limited amount of time to be alive, and I need to be deliberate with the time that I have. Number my days. That means I know I have a specific amount of them, and so then I need to make these days matter. And so I had to get deliberate about that. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in the place that you didn't intend to go, but you end up there because you had no direction. And so when I say reflect, I want you to reflect on where your life is and reflect on what you have done to get your life there, but then reflect on how you can make it different, how you can make it better. Deliberately set aside time to think and evaluate your life, your choices, your decisions, and your direction. Self reflection is so important. This is what I do. I make lists, not because I want to be this super spiritual person. No, but when you write it down, it makes it real. So I write it, right? And then I look at the factual evidence. What have I actually accomplished? Did I do what I said that I would do? Did I achieve the goal that I had set to achieve? I have a list, and then I can look at my list and I can say, I did this. I did that. I didn't get to all 12 things, but I got to a good 8 things. And so what was the hindrance? I reflect on that. What were the things that was stopping me from doing that? How can I overcome them? What were the barriers that were in the way? And how can I do better with dealing with these? What were the distractions that I allowed to take my time away from accomplishing the goals that I accomplished? And then how can I how can I do better with those? So when I say reflect, look at the factual evidence of what you have accomplished against what you said that you would accomplish. Look at the factual evidence of what you wanted to accomplish and what you actually accomplished. So there are things that you want to do, but then you realize that you didn't do them. And so the reflection piece is really just to kind of help you to get some focus, man. And I talk to so many young people who just don't have no focus. And one of the things I try to do for my children and for the young people that I am in contact with is to help them just to get some mental focus. Of course, you're gonna have fun. You want to enjoy your life. You want to enjoy life. You want to, experience life, but you got to have some focus. One of the things I didn't have when I was young was focus. And then when I did focus, I was focused on the wrong things, and I realized that I messed a lot of my life up. And for some of you who are in your 30s now, you recognize that if you made right decisions in your teens and your 20s, you're getting the results and rewards of them. But if you made wrong decisions in your teens and your 20s, now in your 30s, you're trying to overcome those, or you're just starting to overcome those bad decisions. And so sometimes it's just a product of a life without direction. And when I say reflection, reflection helps you to see that. It's a saying that says, hindsight is 2020. In other words, sometimes when you look back at a thing, you get more clarity looking back, to help you move forward. So you can look back and say, man, I should have done that different. I should have said that different. I should have handled that different, right? And so when I say this, that reflection, it's about like evaluating your past to make better decisions for your future. You get what I'm saying? So like, yeah, the thought for today is just reflection, man. Set aside that time to reflect on the things that you have done, on the things that you have accomplished or not accomplished, on the mistakes that you made to make better choices in the future, of the things that you allow to be your distractions, of the things that you let, the things that you didn't plan. Reflect, man, reflect. Take some time to reflect. All right. And so I'm gonna end the episode with a proverb. I know you probably don't go to church, you don't believe in the Bible, but this is just a story. And I'm not gonna like, do no Bible study or nothing. I'm just gonna read it. So the idea here is, for the men or for the women, I notice that one of the major things that we have in our world today is like this whole traps, sex traps, sex traps. And I noticed is that everybody that go, and I'm not gonna say everybody, most people that go to church, right? They all spiritual until it come to sex. As you slip. And so today I want to put on your mind, right? One of the ways you can trap yourself is by sex. So look, I got this book here, and I'm gonna read a story out of the book. And it's a man talking to his son, and I'm just gonna read it to you. And so it's talking to his son, but it also goes for the ladies too. So if you're watching and you're a woman, the base here, the base thought here is don't get caught in the trap. Don't get caught in the trap. All right. All right. So I'm gonna start here. While I was at the window of my house, this man talking to his son. While I was at the window of my house, looking through the curtain, I saw some naive young men, and one in particular who lacked common sense. You probably saying, "Yeah, I got common sense," but you have common sense until you run into, you know what I'm saying. You got common sense until you run into the whole sex thing. Until a girl, until you run into a female, you got common sense. Have you ever done that? Like you thinking straight until I know that was me. I'm focused, I'm determined, I got willpower until I see some ace, until I see that woo, you know what I'm talking about? And then the common sense just go out the window. And it says one in particular who lacked common sense. And if you do got common sense, maybe you lose your common sense when you see the right thing walking past you. You know what I mean? He was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman. He talked about a prostitute strolling down the path of her house. It was at twilight in the evening, and it was dark. The woman approached him seductively, dressed and sly of heart. She was the brash, rebellious type, never content to stay home. She is often in the streets and markets, soliciting at every corner. She threw her arms around him and kissed him. And with the brazen look, she said, I just finished everything that I needed to do today. And you're the one I was looking for. I came out to find you, and here you are. You know, my bed is spread with blankets and colored sheets. And I put my perfume. She had a perfume on. Let's drink, let's have fun tonight until the morning and enjoy each other. This is the story. My husband is not home, so apparently she's married. He's away on a long trip. He's taking a wallet full of money with him and won't come back until later. She seduced him with her speech and enticed him with her flattery, and he went, he followed like an ox going to the slaughter. Oh man, this is funny. Like an ox going to the slaughter, he was like a stag caught in the trap, awaiting the arrow that would pierce his heart. You know what? I wish that there was a way that you could tell who's good and who's not good. I wish there was a way that you could tell. Woo! I wish there was a way. Getting caught. This is the trap right here. Like an ox going to the slaughter. He was like a bird flying into a snare, little knowing it would cost him his life. And this is the man. He says, so listen to me, my son, and pay attention to my words. Don't let your heart stray towards her. Don't wander down her wayward path, for she has been the ruin of many. Many men have been her victims. Her house is the road to the grave. Her bedroom is the den of death. It's basically just saying, he was saying to his son, man, you can trap yourself by sleeping with the wrong woman. And look, for the women out there, you can trap yourself by sleeping with the wrong man. I mean, that's just the simple wisdom. You know, I tell my boys, my girls all the time, I tell my kids, like, man, you got to be careful who you give yourself to, because you can give yourself to the wrong person. And just like in the story, some people look good, but they ain't good. And I know some stories, man, where girls be fine. Girls be fine, and the dude went on ahead and did it. And then you realize, man, you go to the doctor and it ain't the same. Let me tell you, STDs are real. Child support is real, and they will lock you up and they will take your check. And I'm just trying to, the basic here is just living life with some morals, man. What good is it to like, for me to go to the gym, to work out, to diet the right way, just to get up in the bed and catch something, that I can't get rid of. All of this stuff I'm trying to do for my health and for my diet and to try to live longer, and then I catch a STD that I can't get rid of. What good is it? And I just want to appeal to your mind, man. Like, live your life with some boundaries, live your life with some morals, live your life with some standards, man. You shouldn't be just in here jumping in anything. Don't stick your Johnson in anything, and don't let just anybody stick their Johnson in you. And that's for the men and the women. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we got some. I ain't even gonna touch that, but be careful, man. Be careful out here in these streets. Live your life with some boundaries, live your life with some morals. You can save yourself from a lot of trouble. It was a couple of people, man. I'm gonna just be real. There was when I went through my single phase, there was a lot of girls, man, that I could have done it. I could have done it, but I chose not to. And then when I chose not to, I realized that it was such a good decision, man. The girl that I was dealing with, uh, I was dealing with her, but I wasn't having sex with her. And then, like, maybe 2 months later, she came up pregnant. And so, what did that say? That say, man, had I been going there, that would have been a whole situation. But I'm glad that I didn't even have to deal with it. Why? Because I wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm just, I'm trying to appeal to your common sense. Before you do that, come on, man, have your mind on other stuff. I mean, for me, I'm always say go find you that one. Quality for me. For me, this may not be for everybody, but quality for me is always above quantity. You want you somebody that's clean first of all, that's clean, that's loyal, that's good for your life. Not just good for you to, I mean, I'm just trying to appeal to your common sense. So, man, that's it, man. The show ain't meant to be long. It's just real simple show. I call this the second season, the second set of episodes. I got a lot of stuff coming for y'all. A lot of good co-hosts. Antoine will be back. My son will be back. I got some different ladies coming on. The doc, she gonna be back. Got a lot of same with my old guests, those good conversations and some new conversations. But then there'll be episodes like this too. So, man, if you've been watching, keep watching. One of the things I do want to do is I want to grow this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If something that was beneficial that you think that could help somebody else, share this with somebody, and keep watching. And then the more you watch, you like it and you like it and you like it, then subscribe, or you can do it in reverse. You can subscribe first. But my goal is to just build the channel. When you got information, I feel like, it's for you to share it. So hopefully, um, hopefully, you enjoyed the pod. And look, I ain't even been on long, but that's the whole show right here. So thank you for watching an encounter with Marcus Stewart. That's me. Again, you can find me and follow me on all social media platforms. I got the thing scrolling down there just in case you need to find me. It is @_Minister Marcus. So that's the show for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next week.